Hello guys! Welcome everybody to Mando Monday. This is the series where you guys ask the questions and I, of course, answer them. This can be to do with anything related to Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or I guess now Counter-Strike 2, CSGO investing, or any current or future update related one. If that's the Anubis collection that we have to get before the Paris Major in the next few weeks, or the full release of Counter-Strike 2 in the summer of 2023, and the features that will bring, such as a new anti-cheat, matchmaking system, possibly a Steam Market 2.0, we don't know. If you guys have any questions regarding any of that, something to do with me, the background, something very niche inside CS, feel free to leave it down below this comment section or any other one of my videos. This week we have around 13 juicy questions, and they're various different topics such as the next operation, the next best time to buy in, the state of the market, and some obvious things like CS2's release. Today's video sponsor is Market.CSGO. Market.CSGO is a buying and selling marketplace for your skins, but most importantly a peer-to-peer site. So the wait times in between trading, buying, or selling are as low as possible. The marketplace has over 100,000 trades a day and even a built-in tab to find the best deals to make the most amount of profit possible. It also has a built-in client via download or Chrome to make trading very profitable, but most importantly, as safe as possible. Selling is as easy as the click of a button with extremely low fees, that of course being 5%. Definitely one of the best in its field and gives you an edge versus other competition. Once you sell an item, it goes directly to your balance. From there, you can choose to cash out with many different options, many more than other rival sites. Market.CSGO is one of the best of its competition. With its low selling fees, scam-proof client, and a large amount of cash out options, I can't recommend this site enough. If interested, it'll be the top of the link in the description below. So quickly, I want to talk about my absence with Mando Monday last week and just the whole thing with it this past month. The data mines and leaks around Source 2 were starting to happen around 2.5 weeks ago, and that's where I kind of shifted the channel for a little bit, because unlike before where it was just niche, very small things that no one really understood, it was things like the limited test build for Mac OS, Linux, and Windows that got leaked almost 3 weeks ago, and that's what I was covering instead. With that, I found myself spending more time on Source 2 content, what it was going to do for the game, because in the off chance the market would have blown up like this, I wanted to be prepared and have videos out for this before the update would drop. And last week we obviously skipped Mando Monday because of making content like that, and then Source 2 dropped on Wednesday, and it's just been crazy ever since. And for almost a whole new 1,000 people that have joined the channel in just the past 4 or 5 days, thank you so much and welcome. This is a weekly Q&A series for the community where I answer you guys' questions about really anything. If it's CS, Lego, doesn't really matter. With all that being said, let's hop into our very first question. Now our first question here is regarding the Paris Major. I really hope the Paris Major will come with Katowice 2014 lookalike stickers, only if Dignitas could qualify, which I definitely agree with. So the Paris Major is a little over a month away, and we're probably gonna get the update with the stickers in the next 2 to 3 weeks, possibly a little later. As it goes for what they look like, I can almost 100% guarantee they're not going to look like Rio, just based off of the poor sales from that major. The reason Rio did so poorly isn't necessarily because they looked the worst in the game, it's because their specific timing. You see, if Rio came out at the exact same time as RMR or after, people wouldn't have hated on them nearly as much. Probably they'd be a lot more popular because you can scrape them. You can't go from Stockholm and Antwerp, the two arguably best looking stickers in the game at the time and even now, besides Kato and whatnot, to the big blob and bushy look that was Rio. And well, if they did release Katowice 2014 or transparent lookalike stickers to Stockholm and Antwerp, the community would be very furious, but also just lose a lot of trust and faith inside Valve. And not just ways of an investment either, where questions would arise, at least for me, where why can't Valve come up with a new, original, good-looking design that's very similar to Kata 14 and something completely different, where it kind of masters both and makes its own new masterpiece. I personally think the triangular design is probably the most likely because of this, and it's one of the only times they can really utilize it. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below. Our second question up here is from Infused, and he says, when do you think the best time will be to buy in once again? So obviously the CS market right now, for those who don't know, is the most insane it's ever been. This blue phosphor, which is for a question later on, just to give you an idea, this was $200 just a little over a week ago. It is currently $375 at an all-time high at $420. Other skins that were altered and changed for Source 2 also had the exact same effect, at least in price on their graph, and the reasoning for these price increases, like we talked about at the beginning, was Source 2. Skins look a lot different and also a lot better with lighting or just small differences here and there, such as RMR. Some foils look really good, the fades, the Dopplers look amazing, but those things, and pretty much all of them, have a decent opportunity to change or be altered in a good or bad way before the full release, in my opinion, in August of 2023. It's already been a week and we're already seeing changes being done because of community feedback, so waiting 3 more months, I could assume that other things are going to change as well. As it goes for buying in, I don't really recommend it. I suggest you go watch my State of the Market video. It talks about buying in now, selling, and a few other things, but I talk about in there, really the only good possibility right now of buying in is mainly cases, but also some capsules, but it has to be the right capsule. RMR, for instance, yes, it does look good, but people are forgetting there are millions upon millions of one of these capsules, but also some of these holos and potentially golds in people's inventories is just waiting to be sold. I have gone ahead personally and sold all of my RMR, quite a bit of Stockholm and Antwerp because prices are really high, but I ended up getting an op fade. That was my trade-off. The thing is with capsules and cases, what you've seen with the Dreams and Nightmares for an example, is this thing almost doubling up in price within the first couple of days because people like Tin the Tapman, Jericho, all these Valorant streamers who were the only ones to get the beta key, come play CS. They wanted to open cases. Those cases were going to the moon, and that's going to continue to happen for the next few months. With more and more people coming to the game, just like last year on a larger scale, the supply of cases is dwindling. Well, the price has to increase because more people want to open them. So to answer your question, cases, wait until a little dip and then buy in then. And as it goes for skins, it really depends if you're playing the game every day or not. If you play every day, go for it. Wait for a little dip like you just saw with the blue phosphor. That'd be the best opportunity to. Let me know what you guys think down below. Our next question is regarding Antwerp capsules. What will happen to them and what should we do? So Antwerp, just like everything else, has gone up for one reason or another. The main one being is these stickers look really good and they're extremely rare. The main draw-in factor I would say to Antwerp right now is the hollow and gold transparent autographs, which we've never received before, at least available in this much liquid, where pretty much anyone can buy these capsules and stickers for a relatively easy to get in price, if that makes any sense. With those becoming more popular, stickers like the Cloud9 dwindling in quantity, going to $50, $60, and them getting opened, you still have to keep in mind though, that during the 75% off sale, there were over 500,000-600,000 of each individual one of these capsules on the market. Yes, sure, some of the autographs like the legends and even the contenders were pretty low, but there's still a lot more than what you're seeing on the Steam market, and that goes for anything. Glitter stickers are insane in profit. I bought these at like 20 cents a few months ago, sold them for almost $1.50, which is just a crazy increase that makes no sense to me, but I'm capitalizing on those sales right now because I don't know where things are going to be going in the next few months. As it goes with selling, I think these things are going to keep rising amongst everything else like Stockholm and some cases and some skin, but you can't profit until you sell. Just keep that in mind. So hopefully that answered your question. Overall, right now I think it's a good time to sell. Go into something else, maybe hold back cash for an operation or the next major. That's just my opinion. You got to weigh out the pros and cons. If you wait the 3 to 4 weeks when we get the Paris major stickers, you could run the risk of these things going up even more, but also going down with more added to the market. Feel free to let me know what you guys think down below. Now our next question up here is from Dragon, and he says, theory, there won't be an Anubis collection this major, and they're going to have the first operation when CS2 officially releases, and they're going to have the Anubis collection. So this is a pretty interesting theory, but I sadly don't think it's going to happen. Now my reasoning behind this is Anubis is being played in the major. It is now in the active duty map pool. Pros are playing on it, and I don't believe there's ever been a major in the history of CSGO or just CS in general where we haven't had souvenir packages for the maps these guys are playing. And just like in 2018, there wasn't an operation, there wasn't any event for Inferno, and I believe it was Overpass. Don't quote me on that, I'll put it on screen. They added these things around 2 to 3 weeks before the major actually came out. So it was kind of a last second thing, pulled from the workshop. The skins weren't that great, not really well remembered, but I kind of think that's what's going to happen right here. An operation, as much as I think it's likely and want it to happen, CS2 is also not going to officially release until quite possibly August or a little later, which wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense for adding the Anubis collection then. Speaking of another operation, our next question up here is from CS Trends. Who else knows what could be hiding in the files? This seems to be like it's a future operation due to its discovery of the new knives. So if you guys aren't familiar with what this question is revolving around a week ago, I made a video about a bunch of stuff for the CS beta that got leaked, or the Counter-Strike 2 limited test build. I'm just going to call it beta or alpha going forward. Game Follower put out a tweet where a bunch of new knives were found, just 2, the Twinnable and this other one. One of them I don't mind, the other one I just don't like at all. There's a bunch of new skins. There's also an inspect button for the Zeus now, which makes people think we'll get Zeus skins possibly in an operation or the one-off case. And there was a bunch of operation skins that got leaked, but there's a little bit of a twist to them. They're around 2 to 3 years old from when most of these things got added to the workshop, and that makes sense. You have the M4A4 Fade, which if you guys remember, for Operation Broken Fang 2 or 3 years ago, that was for the op. The AK-47 Wildfire, which came out I believe a little bit before Operation Broken Fang, or possibly after, this was on the op Wildfire, and some others as well. You kind of get the point. So I believe this was a scrapped operation. I don't think we're going to see any of these skins. That's just my guess though. Maybe the M4A4 Fade, but we'll have to wait and see. An operation though is inevitable. The best course of action I think for Valve, I'm not a professional with this, but I think would be to announce something with the full release of CS2. But then an arguing fact to that is it's too much content all at once, where it's overwhelming for a lot of new players and returning players. Where for me, just this past couple weeks, I think maybe some other people probably felt the same way. For those who didn't or did get to play the beta, it was a lot of content to just take in, not even as a content creator, but just as a player. People were confused, so many things to learn in a very short period of time. So who really knows? We could see an operation for the final days of CSGO. We could see one with the launch of CS2. We don't know. But those are my thoughts on the files for a leaked operation, the knives, and when it could release. Now our next question up here is regarding RMR. And this guy says, what if you're buying RMR as a super long investment, saying 5 to 6 years? And well, my response to this, I think, is the perfect answer. I would just wait wait to see if Valve changes things soon because they look so good with this new lighting update. People are now wanting to buy them. They're making them popular. But also you look at things like the Tyloo, where in Stockholm it's going to $50. So older ones that look somewhat similar, which it does look kind of similar to RMR, those are inevitably going to go up, which they have. I continue to say these stickers were something people wanted to dump more than ever, and there were millions available. And then I close things off with, I would just wait for the Paris Major, which I would. These capsules for around 2 years, and for many people's careers inside CS investing, maybe just investing in anything was their biggest regret, because everyone and their mom's dog bought them. They were on the sale and the most available more than anything else in CS history. Yes, they look good right now, but kind of goes back to my point from yesterday's video on the state of the market and just what I think going forward could happen between now and the full release of CS2. I think lighting on some of these stickers, some of these effects on, let's just say, the Glock Emerald, I think run a decent chance or risk of getting nerfed in some sort of fashion. Maybe not horrible, but I think that'll damage the price. And I think people are forgetting that not just for RMR, but for Stockholm, Antwerp, and a lot of these cases, there are a lot of these capsules or consumables left for people to sell, and just stickers in general. So that's my thoughts. I think for 5 to 6 years, probably not the worst idea, but I think there's better ones out there as well, like just waiting for the Paris Major, going in other things, or maybe even going to that major itself. Now, our next question up here is from Jaron, and he says CS Mobile would be huge. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with this, just a couple days ago, alongside the operation leaks, such as the knives and the skins themselves, there was also a leak for a new mobile app for the Apple App Store and the Android Google Play Store with a CSGO title, which I haven't seen a whole lot of people cover because I feel like most feel like it's not really going to happen. At least a playable version of CSGO on the phone just would be really weird, but in my opinion would be genius and make sense, and at the same time has me worried, just a lot of different emotions. Though this would be really good, definitely would boost the player numbers up if they were on the same servers to probably well over 10 or 15 million, because so many people, if not everyone, has a phone. But I think lawsuits would happen, people would be screaming, and Valve would be forced to do something with the market, which makes me think they would probably have some sort of different marketplace where maybe they can't sell their skins for real life money. You see an 8 to 10-year-old kid, if they whip out their phone, have their mom's credit card on their Apple account, they want to open $4,000 in CSGO cases when it's only like 5 cases because the cases are so much, and then they turn to the Apple Store, get mad at them. Apple, Google Play, they're pretty hard companies when it comes to that. They're going to have to go to Valve, and Valve is going to have some big agreement with them where they can't sue, or one or the other, very similar to Steam, but it's not like that. So I think it's going to cause a lot more problems than it actually will do any good. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below. Now, our next question up here is for Croissant, and he says, what is the expected Valve announcement frequency for CS2? Is it going to be every Tuesday night, or it's not clear? So what this guy means, which I think is a great and brilliant question, CSGO and Steam shuts down every Tuesday for the weekly maintenance update, where they clear some things up, they update some things. Developers for games upload their update to Steam, so when you come back, when it's online, you can click that button and you're ready to go. Is Valve going to update every Tuesday? I don't think so, but I think their communication with the community has already been a lot better, which I'm very happy with. Now, is this because it's just a beta and they need to just kind of milk people to come back? I think that's a decent possibility, but a part of me doesn't want to think that. I just would like to think that this is the new version of them. If they don't talk to their community, don't care, people are going to transition over to other games, which won't be good, and that's not what we want here. CS isn't really one of those games, at least right now in Go, where we need an update every week. Right now, with the release of CS2, there's going to be bugs and patches that need to be done probably for the next couple of years on a weekly basis. So yeah, I'd probably expect them every Tuesday, maybe a couple times a week, maybe more, because it's the start. Now, our second to last question up here is regarding the blue phosphor, like we discussed at the beginning. I was going to buy a blue phosphor 2 weeks ago when the price is around $250. Now I'm wondering if I should bite the bullet and buy with the market going the way it is right now. I don't know if it'll go up even more or not. So this was 3 days ago at the time of this guy's question, and I hope he didn't buy in, at least from that time, because it did look like it was going to continue to go up. It had an all-time high of 420. Now it started to go back down all the way to 370, which is actually a pretty big decrease. Now it's not all the way, but it's a decent amount. The reason for this skin's increase is because it looks really good in Source 2, just like the Combat Disruption, just like the Glock Emerald, some fade knives, some Dopplers, Sapphires, Rubies, you kind of get the picture. This is also one of those skins, though, I think runs the risk of possibly being changed in some way. How? I'm not sure, but just keep that in mind when you're wanting to buy something like this. I would probably wait the next couple of weeks to see where it goes, because if it's dropped this much already, I think if you give it another week, it'll drop a little more and you kind of get the point. Skins like this that look better inside Source 2 with the new players that are coming over are going to want the more rare skins, which is this, which is obviously going to drive up the price, but it can't drive it up this much, right, in such a short period of time for it to actually make sense. So like I said with the Sun and Leo, if the scope wasn't changed, maybe some smaller things were, the skin would have gone to continue to go up, but would have fallen down due to trade blocks expiring, regrets taking place, and people just not wanting the skin anymore, and also the changes. So me personally, I would wait the next couple of weeks. Let me know what you guys think down below. Our last question up here is from Juice, Juicy CS, and he says, is this just a bubble and will skin prices go down? So I would say everyone's had that question since CS skins ever first came out in 2013. Back in the day, whoever was buying a knife for over $100 on the internet was considered an absolute moron, but now look at us. With the release of CS2, I don't think many people, including myself, expected the market to go the way it was going to. I think I kind of saw the market going in this direction maybe after a full year, couple years of its full release with more people coming to the game and operation on the table, but this is just a limited test build. Not even everyone can play it, like 2% of the population can, yet skin prices are going to the moon. As it goes for things being in a bubble, even if they are, they're continuing and will continue to rise either way, and that's just something I've kind of come to accept at this point. As it goes for things going down, I don't think they're going to crash like some people think. There's going to be a correction is the proper term, I'd say. But some things, let's just say the Glock Emerald, not that it will. If this were to get nerfed with how the lighting affects the gun, where it doesn't affect it as much and it's not as shiny, this thing wouldn't crash, but it definitely wouldn't be as high as it is right now. As it goes for skins, cases, stickers that won't change, but that are already high in price, they're going to ultimately fall. The people who bought in are either not going to want them anymore, don't want to run the risk of them possibly changing in the future, or the hype of CS in a couple years just kind of goes down like how it did in 2016 and 17. But that's like a whole different topic for another video for a different time. Let me know what you guys think down below. This was a jam-packed episode for Mando Monday. Thank you to everyone and all the new people that have joined the channel the past few days. I really appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully I get a beta key so I can stream for you guys very soon. Peace out.